All right. Hello, everybody. So I'm making this video because I want to go over goal setting and making action steps for you to do daily, and being able to prioritize them so that you are getting the most out of your time, out of your power hour. So the first thing that I want to talk about is long-term goals versus short-term goals. So what I want you to do is to get it down a piece of paper. And you're going to write 1 year. You're going to come up with 3 goals that you have, and you're going to write them as I can statement type things, like in the present, like you already have achieved that goal. So I'm going to go ahead and read mine, and then I want you to go ahead and write 3 goals of your own. And you can pause this video to give yourself time to be able to do so. So here's my 1 year goals. I am a 5-star diamond coach. I earn $5,000 a month. I am an organizational leader. So those are 3 goals that in the next year, I feel that I should be able to attain. The goals that you create don't have to just be business. If you're still on your fitness journey, absolutely make it a fitness goal. If you have a life goal, absolutely create that. If you're living at home, or you have been driving the same car for 10 years, you can say, I have a brand new Chevy Escalade, or I bought a brand new house on my own. So you can make goals that are life goals as well. They don't just have to be business related. And then same with fitness goals. I've actually surpassed my fitness goals. So the only goal that I continue to have is to exercise daily and just continue doing what I'm doing. I don't really have a measurable necessary goal. But if you're like a size 14 right now, and in a year you want to be a size 8, then write that down. I wear a size 8 in pants. So you can make fitness goals, health goals. You definitely want to make some business related, because you need to set those benchmarks for your business. After you write those 3 year-long goals down, I want you to write down 3 6-month goals. I'm starting you guys off with 3 because I don't want you to feel like you're overwhelmed, okay? As you mark these things off because you've hit them, you can always reevaluate your goals later and create more. So my 6-month goals, what I did is I looked at my year goals, and I broke them down a little bit to give myself kind of like a halfway point. So for my 6-month goals, which I'm shooting for like, the end of the year, January-ish, I am a star diamond coach. I earn $2,500 a month. I am a team leader. And then after, again, those are all measurables. I can for certain say whether I have reached that goal or not at the end of that time period. And it's attainable. It's not something that's so far-fetched, that's so out there right now. It's not like I just started coaching and I'm saying in 6 months I'm going to be, an organizational leader. It's not impossible to do that, for sure. So if that is your goal, I'm not telling you to, not set a high standard for yourself. And then what I want you to do, there's about 9 days left this month. So you're going to create goals for this month, not this month per se. We're going to take these 9 days and go into September. So from now until the end of September, what are your goals? So here's mine. Again, I just broke them down a little bit more, like another little baby step. So this month's goals for me are, I'm a diamond coach. I earn $1,600 a month. I'm a team leader. Okay, so those are my benchmarks for this month. So we have these goals. Now we need to write down some daily action steps to be able to achieve these goals, because they're important to us. So what I want you to do is, on a piece of paper, you're going to create 5 columns. And in the columns, you're going to write A, B, C, D, E. Okay? We are going to prioritize our action steps that we should be doing every single day. Okay? we're going to start with our A column. These are the most important, like non-negotiable. If you want your business to grow, these are the 3 things that you are doing every day. No excuses. Okay? These are like first on your list so that you cannot have the excuse of, well, I ran out of time in my power hour. Because when I first started, I always chose to do the most comfortable, easy things first. So sure, I have like 3,500 people, but am I anywhere near even talking to like half of those people right now? Probably not, because I didn't prioritize. I thought I did the easy stuff. I could sit there and add friends all day long, but without talking to any of them, not doing anything. So we're gonna do all the hard stuff first. So number 1 in your A column, so it should look like this, of course, with nothing in it yet. So your A column, ABCD. Okay. So in your A column, the very first thing you have to do every single day is work out for 30 minutes. If your program requires like 35 minutes, well, that's fine. Okay, if it's a 35-minute workout. If it's a 28-minute workout, that's fine. My point is you should be doing the workout from your program. You should be following that every day. I don't want to hear, well, I did my power hour and I ran on time and I didn't have time to work out. No, that's like the most important part of you. You're proof that this works. If you're not working out and you're not drinking Shakeology, how can you be proof that this works? So the most important part is proving that these programs work by following the nutritional plan and working out for 30 minutes. Even if you fit that 30 minutes into your power hour, you still can do the rest of the steps. I promise. All right? So work out for 30 minutes. Also in A, invite 5 people. Now this does take a little bit of time. It's easy at first when you have friends and family that you can hurry up, quickly shoot a message to. But once you start messaging people who are outside your comfort zone because you don't know them very well, it's going to be a little bit more harder because you want to build relationships and you know nothing about these people. So you're going to need to look at their page and see if you can connect with them. So one thing that I do is because we all mindlessly scroll Facebook. Okay, don't lie and say that you don't. So when I'm scrolling, if I see somebody posting something positive, I write their name down. And I make a note to it. Note by it. Okay? So I make a little note by it saying why I wrote that, why I think that person would be a good person to message. So if I see somebody posting something positive, I write their name, I write positive post. If they just had a baby, I write baby next to their name. If they are getting engaged, if they are already posting about weight loss, or if they're posting about healthy eating at all, like anything that I think would be a good conversation starter to be able to segue into joining one of my challenges or the coaching. If they're posting about weight loss already, they're posting pictures, I'm not even going to start with a personal, invite to a challenge group. I'm going to be like, oh my God, your transformation is amazing. Like, you're inspiring so many people. Have you thought about coaching? Like, I'm just going to throw that out there right off the bat. So work out, invite 5 people. And then the third thing that's so important to expanding your business and to reaching your goals is following up. So you need to follow up with at least 5 people. Okay. So if you had a challenge group and it just ended, or if you had a clean eating group and it just ended, if you've already invited people and they've said, well, maybe next month, okay, all of these areas are great follow-ups to have. So pick 5 people. If you had like 30 people in your clean eating group, don't overwhelm yourself and think you have to follow up with all 30. Pick 5 on today, 5 tomorrow, 5 the next day, okay? Follow up with them. See how they like the group, talk about their successes, things like that. And if it's a clean eating group, you can invite to a challenge group. If it's a challenge group, invite them to coach, especially if they love Shakeology and they're going to be using it monthly. Okay. Those are the 3 musts. Like, you have to have those done. No excuses. And you're not allowed to do anything else until those 3 things are done. Now, I know some people work out in the morning and then have to go to work and then do their power hour at night. That is fine. You still worked out, right? First? Okay. Because I don't want the excuse that you didn't work out because you didn't have time. You do. You create it. That's how we reach our fitness goals. Okay? So if you're reaching your fitness goals and you're doing your fitness stuff, then the rest, really, you can, like I said, you can do it in the half hour that's left. If you break it up and you work out in the morning and then you do your power hour at night, bonus, because you're giving yourself like an entire hour at night. So you could even hit up all of the columns. Right now, you need to do A and B. So those were the 3 A's. Once you finish those, because those are non-negotiable, we don't skip over those. We don't cheat ourselves and say, I'm going to start in column C. No. Start in column A. And once you do those, then you go to column B. And this is another thing that these are going to help your business grow. So you have to do them daily. Okay? They're not as important as A, but they are vitally important. So, number 4, starting in your B column, recognize. Recognize challengers. Recognize coaches. Anybody that you can recognize, do it. Okay. If you recognize your coaches, you're building self-esteem. You're building confidence. Okay. You're building a bond. They trust you. They're excited that you believe in them. And you should. They're your coaches. They're on your team. You wanted them there, right? You're attracting people who are supposed to be like you, like-minded like you. So encourage that. Encourage them to get out of their shell. Anytime they do anything small, I mean, it can be, selling a challenge pack. Yeah, it can be hitting Success Club, or it can be signing a coach. Absolutely, it can be business related. But it can be something small, like they just won a mini challenge, or, oh my goodness, they just lost an inch in their waist. Or, any kind of small thing can still be recognized. When I do my call to actions, a lot of the time at the bottom, I like to recognize the people who have already signed up for my next challenge. I like putting those names there. A lot of people don't think these products work. And they don't think they work because of all the gimmicks that have been on TV before in infomercials. Think of the Thigh Master, right? The shake weight. That crazy ab belt that you could put around and it pulsated your stomach. And it was supposed to give you a 6-pack abs. Okay? People are used to those products being on infomercials. And that's why they're so hesitant and think Beachbody doesn't work. They don't understand that Beachbody is an entire workout program and a whole nutritional program. And you get the support groups and you're their coach to help answer any questions. And you're there, you got their back. Like, they don't necessarily understand that whole rounded concept. All they know is Beachbody does advertisements for PX90. And I bought a Thigh Master 4 years ago and it never worked. So buying things off TV don't work. That's where a lot of people's heads are at. So by acknowledging that all these other people are coming on board with you, it makes people who have been watching you less hesitant. They realize, maybe this stuff does work, because they're not only seeing your results, but you're recognizing all these other people that are joining you and that have been doing good and that are on board. And so they don't feel so alone joining you, and they don't feel so like crazy joining you. They're like, maybe it is different. So recognition is important on both of those levels. It's boosting the self-esteem and encouraging and motivating and helping those that you already have. And it's helping other people realize that they should get on board too. Okay, number 5 is professional development. You should be reading 10 minutes of personal development a day. Now, if you're working your power hour, you could totally be on your computer and have your phone have personal development going, or vice versa. And you could be listening to it while you're doing certain things. In fact, if you've been doing a program for so long and you know what the moves are and you don't need to hear the people talking, mute your TV, and while you're working out, have your personal development on. Have your personal development on in the car. Have your personal development on in the shower. While you're cooking dinner, have your personal development on. Having your kids listen to personal development isn't the end of the world. I listened to personal development growing up. My dad was a huge Zig Ziglar fan. So in the car, now at the time, I'm little. I didn't know what it was. All I knew is my dad listens to like talk radio. Like people are talking on TV. I didn't have music on. You know, and not all the time. Sorry, my nose is running today. Not all the time, but he did. And it wasn't until I started being a leader and building a team and listening to positive, you know, personal development. It wasn't until now that I really started to think about things that I did growing up and how different it was from what other people were doing. So quick story. If you haven't watched a video before where I've shared this, my 8th grade year, I tried out for high school cheerleading. So high school cheerleading tryouts were coming up, and I tried out. I did not make it. I did not make it initially. When I found out I didn't make it, I went up to the coaches because they were the judges, and I asked them what areas I scored low in and what I could do, because next year I really wanted to try out again, and I was hoping to make the team. So I wanted to take the time to work on the areas that I was weak at so I could succeed. Now, the areas were like toe touches, you know, my jumps and like splits. So it was the flexibility thing. So I worked really hard from that moment on those areas because those were my weak areas. Now, I went home that day and I told my parents, and they were like, it's okay. And so like every day I was going outside and I was practicing those things. There was a girl on the JV team who had been an 11th grader, and she thought she was too good and she had too much pride to be on the JV team as an 11th grader. So she quit. Now they could have picked the girl who was next in line and highest in points, but they didn't. They picked me. So they called me and told me that I could be on the cheerleading team for fall if I still wanted to. I'm like, absolutely. Okay. Did I stop practicing those things because I was like, ooh, I made the team. Okay, I don't got to practice those things now. That drove me to push even harder. The fact that they were going to give me this opportunity because they saw that I was serious and that I had this work ethic, like I really wanted to improve, and that I was teachable. That they could give me criticism and I wasn't going to take it personal and fall apart with it. I wasn't going to say, oh my God, I suck as a cheerleader because I didn't make the team and my splits are horrible. And they saw somebody who wanted to work hard and that they could coach. And that wasn't going to give them attitude. That wasn't going to think that I was too good to be there. So I made the team. But it didn't stop there because I still worked my butt off. I still practiced my splits. I still practiced my toe touches all the time because I knew at any moment that I could lose that spot. I didn't take it for granted. So then when basketball season came around, I tried out and I immediately made the JV team. I was super excited. Okay. But then there was a person on the varsity cheerleading team whose grades didn't cut out, or I think that's what it was. Like their grades weren't high enough or whatever. So they lost their cheerleading spot. So they were going to pull from the JV team somebody up to the varsity team. again, there were cheerleaders that were better than me. There were cheerleaders that were skinnier than me. They could do higher splits. They could do, handsprings and better cartwheels and roundups. I mean, there were girls who were physically better than I was. But they put me on the varsity team as a freshman because I wasn't just good at cheerleading. I was coachable. Again, I didn't have an ego or pride thinking that I was too good for anything or too good to be there. Okay? So I was coachable. Not only was I a hard worker and had a great work ethic and coachable, but I had all A's. So my grades were excellent. They didn't have to worry about season to season if my grades were going to drop at all and to have to replace me. Because as a coach, you don't want to have to replace people. When you're coaching people and there's cheerleaders that have a routine, or football players or whatever, if you have somebody that's like a solid team member and then they drop off, it's hard to replace them. It really is in any area, sport, even business. It's hard to find somebody that was that good. So I got pulled up, and a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people in my grade, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, did not like that I got pulled up. But I did. I was one of there was 3 of us, freshmen, on the varsity cheerleading team. Because it all started with one thing. When I failed to make the team, I did not give up. I figured out how to better myself. And I went and I asked the coaches why. A very simple question. Why? Why did I not make it? What can I do to get better? And in business, asking why can get you very far. So those are all things you're going to learn by listening to personal development, because you're going to hear no so many times. It's going to be a mind game. And you're going to start to think that you're bad at what you do, and you're going to start taking things so personal. And it's not. Rejection is not a personal thing. It's on the person who's doing the rejecting. It's not on you. It's not on what you asked. It's not on what you do. For every 100 no's you get, you're going to get some yeses. It's all about asking the right people. So if you're not asking the right people, ask other people and find the right people. So personal development, super important. And then number 6 in your B column is checking into groups. Obviously, if you're not an avid participator in your groups daily, you're going to get what you give. As a parent, think about it. What you do, you're modeling for your kids. So if you are like, man, my kid is so whiny, you need to reevaluate yourself. I'm not telling you you're a bad person, and I'm not telling you you're like as a parent, because we all are human and we all make mistakes, and we all yell, we all whine, we have those moments. But if you don't like something about your child, an action that they're doing, like if for the life of you, you can't figure out why, man, why are they so crazy at nighttime, or why, think about what actions you're doing. Model what you want them to do. So if you want them to eat those peas that are on their plate, you don't sit there and say you don't like peas and you're not eating them and then expect your kids to eat them. Are you kidding me? You are the model for what you want your children to do. So it's the same thing as a coach. You are a model of what you want your challengers to do, and you're a model of what you want your coaches to do. So if you want your challengers to post their meal plan and their meals, if you want your challengers to post motivational things, if you want your challengers to like things and comment on, you have to do it too. I'm not saying you have to blow up your groups and blow up Facebook all the time, because let's face it, life does get busy. We are parents. We are wives. We are husbands. We are, teachers and doctors and business. We all have other jobs too, right? So, but you do need to check in, so morning, afternoon, evening, check-in points, and post a couple of things. They see you posting, they're going to do it. Not necessarily at the same time you do, but throughout the day. So you get this steady stream of participation all day long. But if you post one thing in the morning and then you're gone until the next morning, expect that's what your challengers are going to do too. Okay? So A and B's are must do. If you only do A and B in your power hour every day, you are successful. So this is what I want you to do. For the next 7 days, if you accomplish those 6 tasks, action steps that I just gave you for A and B, if you do those every single day for the next week, reward yourself. I'm not saying any of that was successful as far as like people signing up and hitting Success Club points. No. If you just do the process. So work out, invite 5 people, follow up with 5 people, recognize somebody, you're listening to your PD, and check into groups. If you don't have any groups going right now, then check into my groups, right? So you have my challenge group, you have my coach training group. Okay, count that as you're checking into groups. So if you do those things every day, and this has to be a personal, trust thing. Don't cheat yourself. Don't miss a day of working out and say that you did everything every single day. Your 30 minutes of working out could be stretching. If it's your rest day, you could stretch, or you could go for a walk so that you can listen to your personal development. Go for a walk, you just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But everything in A must be completed before you do B. A is most important, B is right there next to it. Those 2 things must be done every day. If you do for the next 7 days, reward yourself. Every time you go a week successfully hitting every single one of those A and B points, reward yourself. Not with food. Buy yourself a new pair of shoes. Buy yourself a new workout tank. Go get a pedicure. Go get your hair done. Buy new makeup. If you're a guy, what are guys into? Buy, you can buy clothes too and shoes. Buy a new set of weights. I don't know what guys are. What's a reward to guys? Shoot, I treated my dad to a pedicure before. If you've never had a pedicure as a man, go get one. Okay, so every 7 days, you complete those core tasks in A and B, reward yourself. Once you get so good at doing those things, you're going to be able to get C done. C is, you do need to do it, but it's not imperative with immediate business growing. So adding to your network. Obviously, throughout the day, if you're on Facebook, yeah, you can be like, add friend, add friend, add friend, right? That's easy. But adding to your network. So like expanding into a like page or being on more than one social media. Facebook is my hub, but if Facebook isn't your thing and like Instagram is, you could totally run your business out of Instagram and have Facebook be like your second hub. But you don't need to necessarily have a bunch of different social media things going on right now. You do just need to master one. Okay? So that's why I'm saying expanding and adding to your network for your business. You should do this, and eventually you will. And it is important, but it's not going to make or break your business. Number 8 is also in the C category, and that's like special posts. So posting recipes, you're going to have natural posts. After you work out, you have an easy post. Post a sweaty selfie, post a clip from your workout. That's an easy post. So that's your one, when we say post 3 times a day, that's one post. That's an easy post that you just created just by doing that workout. Recognizing somebody, that's a post, right? If I'm telling you in column B, you need to start recognizing people, that's a post. So that gives you 2 posts right there. And then we all know we share things about our kids or animals. So that's a third post right there. That's letting people in to know who we are, and you can make a connection, because there's going to be dog lovers out there, and there's going to be cat lovers who want to strike up a conversation about your animals or about your kids. And that's going to be a great, relationship builder. When I say special posts, I mean like, posting recipes. If you don't do that every single day, it's not going to kill your business. If you forget, like yesterday, I did not do a call to action whatsoever. Is my business going to flop because I missed a day of doing that kind of post? No. Should you do some kind of special post where you're, promoting your challenge group or telling your story or promoting a free eating? Yeah, you should. You should. You definitely want to let those people know. You should be rotating those kind of posts throughout the week, and you should be letting people know that you have those things going on. Absolutely. It's part of, the inviting process. But if if you have 3 solid posts on your Facebook and you're like, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night, don't like throw up a post at 10 o'clock at night because you feel like you need to post something. You don't just want to post. So I rather have you have your 3 solid posts of like your workout, your recognition, and like something with family or your pets or whatever, and have 3 posts that are going to be so quality than like, oh, I need to put up motivational banners and all this other stuff. That totally is considered a special post to me. And if you can do those, great, but it's not going to make or break your business, not doing it every single day. And then D is like down the road. This is something that you'll want to learn how to do, but right now it should not be your focus because you are all new coaches. So D is graphics. So playing around with like Pick, Play, Post, Canva, PicMonkey, PicCollage, PicsArt, any other video, iMovie. Okay, so any of those like making it look cool and pretty things, you don't have to be a master of that right now. I am getting in my memories things from when I started, and I'm looking, and it was like so blah and like just like motivation banners and like just a video, like not even a collage of videos, just like a video of me doing a move. And by golly, I built my business. There was nothing fancy that I did, and I've been building my business. So I know a lot of you want to take a ton of time in your power hour, like playing around with those. Please don't, because you're doing the fun stuff that's not going to play a role in your business. And then you're not inviting because you've ran out of time. So D is one of those things that it's not going to hurt your business if it doesn't look pretty right now. That's something like if you're on vacation for a week from your job, or your kids are down for a nap and you feel like you have extra time and you've done A, B, and C, and you want to move on to D, okay, I give you that permission. But do not say, wake up and work out and say, ooh, I want to learn Pick, Play, Post and play around with it and spend an hour playing around with that and you did not invite one person. Okay, that's D for a reason. And then E, creating videos and trainings. So I am just now doing it. A year into my business, I am just now creating trainings and videos for my team. You guys do not have to feel overwhelmed with doing these things. That is why we have High Coaches, Anita's website. It has a ton of scripts and materials and resources we can use for our groups and trainings. That's why we have Team Beachbody. There are a ton of trainings in there. YouTube, if you go on YouTube and you search a topic that you're going to be talking about in your challenge group or in your clean eating group, or if you want to if you start getting coaches and you want to, if You can put them in My Coach Basics. But if you start to feel comfortable where you're like, I'm just going to have my own Coach Basics, don't feel like even having your own Coach Basics, you need to start posting and making videos on your own. You can go on YouTube and find Anita's videos, find my videos, and you can use those in your groups. Okay, we don't have to recreate the wheel right off the bat. It's not going to make or break your business. Again, it's one of those things that it will be important to you down the road as your team is substantially growing, but it is not important right now. Right now, you need to be doing A and B. So stop doing all the fun stuff and playing around and get A and B done. That is the hardest part to do. That is the part you spend the most time on because you have all these different hesitations. But the more that you solidify doing A and B and rewarding yourself for doing A and B every day. Something just popped up. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the more that you do A and B and you reward yourself for doing A and B for a week, reward yourself. Do it another 7 days, reward yourself. You'll find that you get so good at A and B that you have time left. So then you work in C. So then you find after a couple of weeks, you get really good at getting A, B, and C all done in your power hour. But you might have a few minutes left to play around with graphics. Or you may have a few minutes left to make a video to post to your group or on Facebook, something motivational. Or do a live post or something like that. You may find that you have time to do those extra things. Okay? So that is goal setting. Those are our daily action steps. Those are the orders and the priorities that we need to do them in. So, post questions if you have any. And let's start rocking it. Let's start getting rewards for ourselves for doing those things that are going to be so important. And you're going to watch your business grow.